I can smell oranges, lemons.
Oh.
Something mulled. Yeah, you know what that means, don't you? Oh. Yep, thought so. Ooh.
Oh my.
Hello?
Oh.
We don't have an angel on top of the tree. We have an alien angel adjacent to the tree.
Yes.
You okay up there?
Is this some bizarre dominance display?
I think it might be, yeah. The tree's a bit Spartan this year, isn't it?
It is a little, isn't it? And it's kind of red. Oh, look, there's even poo on it.
Oh, tiny Mr. Hanky. Well, you know what that means, don't you?
What's that?
Labour government, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe movies. Good, welcome, and season's greetings to all from us here in Delirium. Hello, my name is Max.
Oh, hi, my name's Sam.
Welcome back to our cosy nook from the horrors of the real world. And as always, thank you for joining us. If you do like what we do here, then please do all the usual. Do like, share, subscribe, and help us grow and take over the world.
Please do it.
We have something to toast this season.
You've got it.
Professional me.
Oh, yes.
Thankfully not anymore.
Thankfully, that's one thing I've never had to do. I've done the 7 plates up my arm thing, but I've never had to serve anything.
The silver service, that's yes. Which is never easy to do, especially during a Christmas party when you've got guests trying to pinch you on the bum.
Oh, yes, oh the days.
Oh,
that's nice.
Yes, we've obviously done something right.
I do enjoy the Christmas cheer.
So do I, yes. It must be done justice to. Thank you for joining us, as I've already said. Starting slow.
It's one of those.
There's no presents either.
Oh no.
I think we start where we normally start, and that would be the poll.
Oh, the poll, okay.
Yes. So, if you were with us last month, we were... What were we doing?
Sorry, folks, my brain just farted very loudly.
We were kit bashing together the Cannonball Creeper.
The Cannonball Creeper, that's it. Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yes, which we both resoundingly voted for, didn't we?
We did both resoundingly vote for in our polls, which we ran in all of our usual places. From all of those, 1 vote said no. 8 votes said yes.
Nice!
Yeah, so with a nice round 10 votes to 1, the Cannonball Creeper is most definitely a maybe movie, and will be here with a fanfare as always. Thank you to everybody who voted. Please do jump in and throw us your votes again for whatever we are about to butcher.
Yes, indeed.
And also don't forget, with this month, we are running a caption competition. So that is going to be to win this lovely, lovely cushion here, as it's no longer movies, actually.
It is no longer.
I don't think it's reindeer.
No, I don't. It's a little early.
Yes. But yes, to win this, and to do so, all you need to do is have a look at the movies that we're going to be looking at this month, find some memorable quotes from them, and then make your own from it. In the mashup style that we do, and then put those all in the comments below. We will have a look at it, and then we will decide which one we think is the funniest or the best. And we will let you know about that when we come back in the new year.
Indeed. So, let us know what you think, folks. Share your comments below.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I would appear to have the Santa Claus.
Okay, so what do we got over here? I appear to have in my corner Bad Santa. Whose idea was this?
I don't know. It must have been them.
Them.
Yes.
Them.
Oh, it was him.
Him.
That's why he's up there going, yeah, take it. So we have Bad Santa from 2003 and the Santa Claus from 1994. Both about the same runtime. There's about 3 or 4 minutes in it. They're both just over an hour and a half.
Yeah, pretty even. Bad Santa, John Ritter's last film.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
I did make a note of that. Yeah, which is a shame. Also produced by the Weinstein Company.
I always forget.
You only notice it now, don't you?
Well, no, I don't even notice it now. I just forget. Oh, they own that. Oh, God, it's them. It's that movie. I never did pay a lot of attention to production companies.
No. I do more now, I think.
It's just not one of those things that my brain registers when I'm watching the credits of a movie.
You can't miss it because of how elaborate a lot of the movie company logos have got. There's the whole bit...
modern ones. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they do throw it in your face, yeah.
There's that bit in Family Guy, don't they? When they go to the cinema.
Oh, yes.
And it's just a series of different logos for different companies that were involved in the production. So there is one interesting thing about these two that they kind of do have in common, is their narrative takes place from one Christmas to the next.
Oh yes, so it does. So it does. You're right there. Yeah.
I can see there being problems.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm sitting here now going, how does this work?
Yeah, because
what are we doing here?
I know, because it's it just is. We have to be like dogs. It's what we've been given to eat. So we eat it. Yeah, the problem is, I mean, if we swap Willie from that into this and vice versa, we're losing the connective tissue because they are both ensemble pieces.
Well, yeah, I can see one working. You know, we could put together something worthwhile. But the other one, I'm like, I don't know if this works at all.
No, the other way of doing it would be swapping the themes. So we take the elements of the Santa Claus, all the Santa stuff, and put that in there. And then take those kind of slightly pushing the envelope, gross out, nasty elements of Bad Santa and put it in here. Again, on the one side that works, and I think that's possibly how we're going to have to go in terms of keeping Willie as our protagonist. But I think on the other side it doesn't work because we'll end up losing like a third of our film.
Yeah.
Because we lose all of the stuff at the North Pole, all of the stuff involving Bernard. And then it's like, what do we fill it with? What can we fill it with only having one maybe movie? One because movie.
Yeah.
You know, we could give it a go, but there's a lot of work there.
There's a lot of work for what I'm not sure would be very good payoff. I feel like the best that we could possibly hope for is some kind of riff on Miracle on 34th Street.
Yeah, it's kind of like a combination of that and it's kind of almost like elements of Liar Liar.
Oh, come on! Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, something like that. And these are both plots that we've seen before. There's not a lot of wriggle room to really add stuff, especially as you say with only the one because movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I know technically we were supposed to maybe movie this, but I think it might...
It's going to work better as if we just take all of the elements and make something out of those.
I think this needs to mash up, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, the last thing we can say on this is you know, there is material there to work with because this never really apes up how much of an arsehole Tim Allen is supposed to be.
It makes a token effort in like the first couple of scenes.
Yeah, and then that's it.
Yeah.
So there is material there to work with, but as you say, it's not going to be anything that we haven't seen before.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
We are now under mash-up conditions.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Which then, when I was looking at names, I was thinking that our new version of that would be the Santa Santa.
Mm-hmm.
Because we'd have the bad clause.
Oh. Yeah, but we're not doing that.
That would have been the two.
Yeah.
But I still think we just keep the bad clause will be the one, I think. I think that's the best mashup of the two titles.
Right. The bad Santa Claus.
I was going to suggest the bad clause because I wondered if we could make that a thing in the film.
Oh, okay.
That there is in the same way that there is a Santa Claus, there's also a bad clause. Which is why I'm assuming we're keeping Willie as our protagonist, are we?
Well, this was going to be our next question, as always, who do we keep?
If we wanted to get cheeky with it, technically we keep them both. But he's the outgoing Santa that he then replaces.
That did occur to me.
Mm-hmm.
That did occur to me as a possibility. That way we do get to include both.
Yeah. So are we starting now?
No, hang on, no. We haven't hammered this out. We got because otherwise we're going to end up because of moving ourselves unnecessarily. We got to lay out a proper premise so we know what we're playing with. Basic rules apply. We've got two ensemble casts. Who do we keep? I mean, are we losing Judge Reinhold? Are we losing Charlie? I believe that there's a merit to having Charlie because, like Scott and Willie, being sort of reflections of each other.
Yeah.
The Thurman.
Merman.
Yeah.
Thurman Merman. All right, thank you. Thurman is kind of the opposite of Charlie.
He is, yeah.
I mean, they're both extremely hopeful and believe a lot in Christmas, but they've got opposite lives. They've got very opposite lives.
Okay.
So there's a reflection.
There is.
I'm not saying we should keep Charlie through it the entire movie, but because we've got Scott being the outgoing Santa.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe that's it. When we get to the point where whatever happens to Scott, and Willie takes over, and he goes to the North Pole, but that's one of those years that Charlie is waiting for him at the North Pole. Because he won't go out on the run with him, he's with Bernard and everybody else at the North Pole. So he's expecting his dad to come back, and it's not.
Okay.
That would be a way of keeping him involved. Scott gets him for Christmas Eve, and then the rest of the family gets him for Christmas Day.
Well,
no, that doesn't work though, because otherwise, if you had him for Christmas Eve, he's not just going to leave him at the North Pole. Then it's easy. He's with him doing the deliveries.
That's what I was leaning towards.
Yeah, that makes more
He
sense.
would be the person in the know at this point. He's like, oh, okay, here you go, get in the sleigh. You could have come with me now.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I like that. Because then that means we can include Judge Reinhold and the others and his ex in there.
As part of the story. It won't be as prominent a part of the story, but it'd be like a B-plot.
Exactly.
A B-plot in the film.
Fantastic. Okay.
Yeah, with the kids going through their own troubles. I feel like there's a nice reflection in the way that, and then you've got the two different versions of Santa.
Yeah.
I think there's a nice symmetry to it.
It's also going to be...
I don't like using words like that too much, but I think it's appropriate here.
Fair enough. I agree. Because I was playing with the idea is that he, whatever happens, he finds the card, and then he just throws it away and carries on with his day, because Willie probably would. So having something like that gives us a nice point of, a dramatic point. Mm-hmm. Because now Charlie's got to try and convince him.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. Right. Gosh, we haven't even started yet and there's already problems.
I think we should start and proceed from there.
Okay, alright, you want to raw dog this, do you?
Yeah.
Okay, alright, okay, fine, alright. Let's not deal with the protective gear, let's just dive in there, shall we?
I think we've got as much protective gear as much protective gear as Santa has riding a sleigh pulled by reindeer through the skies.
Okay, alright.
Beginning of this, I'm assuming, is going to kind of be the same. So you're going to get O'Hara's pub.
First couple of scenes, absolutely, because we need to meet Willie.
Yeah, establish what kind of an arsehole he is, pissing himself.
Yes, yeah, it's Christmas Eve when they do the job. I don't know, but so we do O'Hara's, as you say, being a mole Santa, peeing himself and stuff like that. The knocking off and then knocking off. Mm-hmm. It's the bit when they go to the bar and he's like, I'm out, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yes.
And that is, I guess, our cue, like when he leaves the bar or
that
something.
That would make sense. There's another problem with this.
What's that?
No, but I think I figured a way around it. As you say, he leaves the bar. That's where we get a bit with Scott. Mm-hmm. He's delivering presents to people in the other apartments wherever Willie is staying. Are we saying it's going to be a fault, or are they going to get into a scuffle?
I feel like it really should be Willie's fault.
Yeah.
Like, categorically. Like in the Santa Claus, all he does is go, hey, and Santa slips. It's not really his fault.
No.
Whereas I feel in this story, it needs to be Willie's fault. It really does. So I think some sort of scuffle, or he throws an empty bottle and it hits him in the head, something like that. So it's clearly Willie's fault.
Yes. Agreed. Which is when we then introduce Charlie.
Yeah.
Because he'll be, you killed my dad.
Dad, wake up, Dad.
And then sees the card, comes over and gives it to Willie, who's probably trying to get into his apartment. He kind of takes it and goes, yeah, whatever. Scrumples it up, throws it away.
Yeah.
So goes into his apartment, closes the door in Charlie's face.
Yeah, okay.
Charlie goes back and kind of picks up the card or whatever.
A refusal of the invitation. Classic stroke. Okay.
Yep. Doesn't know what to do, and then maybe goes back to go, because obviously by that point Scott's body will have disappeared, it's just the suit there, and maybe in the suit he finds another card that's got the rules of the bad clause.
Okay, so what are the rules of the bad clause?
That's the thing I haven't decided yet. I thought it might be something like, because again, to make this work with the timeline that we've got, so that because otherwise we're going to end up with him having almost already become Santa before he even meets Thurman, because that's the following year.
Oh God, right. Oh God.
But I think part of the bad clause should be, this is his last year of living his normal life, and then everything that happens during the course of the Santa Claus will happen during the 12 days of Christmas. So it's
so none of it starts until it's Christmas time.
Until it's Christmas time again.
Okay, so, alright. So we still get Miami Bar.
Exactly, we can still keep all of those elements in. So all Charlie has to do is he just...
God. Alright, okay, so let's think about this logically. So we've got the bad clause, but we still need him to go to the North Pole, don't we? Or do we just have Bernard appear? I mean, he can do that, right?
He can just do that, yeah.
Yeah.
If we need to have a scene in the North Pole, we could have Charlie take the sleigh back.
Yeah.
And then that would give us our scenes at the North Pole. He needs to make sure that Willie keeps, or at least has the card with him. Can't just post it through his letterbox. So when he leaves, he spots this piece of shit car. That must be his. Pops it in his car. I'd rather be something more personal. I know what it is. When Willie goes into his apartment, he's left his Santa hat outside, so he tucks it inside the Santa hat. Does that? Or is that a bit of a stretch?
I'm afraid of invoking the one, but can we just not have the card be magic?
Yeah.
He throws it away, but it keeps appearing in his pocket. Oh,
of course
okay.
It does.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
So again, so that's the thing then. So he posts it through the letterbox,
and
then as you say, he keeps throwing it out, but it just keeps appearing.
It does, yeah. Okay.
Again, when he's in Miami, he's got a drink and he picks it up, and the card's just like stuck in the drink.
Yeah,
like a piece of fruit.
Yeah.
Which, because if nothing else really is going to change, I mean, we didn't really sort of call acts. I mean, I called the end of Act 1 for Bad Santa.
I'm not 100% where the act is.
I called it's somewhere around when he takes Thurman home for the first time.
Oh, right. Oh, okay. I had it significantly later. Well, no, I mean, I had it at the end of that, so when he's gone off with the car and he's robbed the safe, and then it's the next day or whatever.
Yes. I must admit, yeah.
It's the bit when he's the long and tall woman in the changing room.
Yeah,
I heard a woman screaming, yeah, oh yeah.
That's what I'd called it. I'd called it, what it was an option was kids at home, a kid home, but then I think the second one was when he moves in with him. I think was the one I'd called it.
Oh, that's even later than I called it then.
Which is about 36 minutes.
Okay, well, sure, all right, I'll take it. But you're right, I guess it is going to... Is it going to run the same?
There'll be some small cosmetic things, like as soon as he meets up with Marcus...
Yes.
For the second year in Phoenix, that's when things start to happen. So, put a little bit,
Okay, we're going to start it there.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, that works. Okay.
So, not a lot, just... hey.
So, plenty of abuse from Marcus about...
Either that or at least trying to look the part.
Okay, yeah,
Something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
To which then Willie will probably respond, he's been drinking a lot more. Yeah, it's because he's been drinking a lot more.
Yeah.
That's it. And then obviously we meet Thurman. We get all of those bits.
Mm-hmm. At some point, we have to have Bernard interact with Willie. So maybe Bernard turns up with the list?
As one of the kids to come and sit on Santa's knee?
Yes.
In the store?
Yeah.
So if we could tie that in with him pissing himself?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Bernard turns up, sits on his knee. So what do you want, kid? Oh, actually, it's what I've got for you.
Oh, yeah. What's this? Oh, that's the first page.
Instead of having all of the boxes, it's just like a scroll.
Oh, right,
and
yeah.
And it just rolls all the way across the store.
Mm.
So he throws that out or whatever. And then when he gets home, we can have all of the boxes.
The boxes turn up, yeah.
Yeah,
okay. Great, yeah, I think that gives us our first act, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. What we could even have is... Oh, no, he's in Phoenix. I was going to say he burns all of the list. But no, it's Phoenix. It's not cold, is it?
That's... Like, it doesn't make it... What?
He gets the list delivered, so he just burns it all to keep warm, but he's in Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, right.
So it won't make it... So no, that's not...
No, right, yeah, I see what you mean, yeah.
Because isn't there like an alien old pool in the place where he's staying? So he just throws the whole lot in the pool and sets fire to it.
I know there's a jacuzzi. I think there might be a pool as well. I can't remember now.
It's not at all. It's because I've been reading Cold Heart Canyon and there's an empty pool in that. That's what
of course there is. Yeah.
Sorry. But yes, I think that does give us Act 1. Somehow.
I think we're on shaky ground, but we'll see where this goes. We've got to see where it goes, but I do think we're on shaky ground, but it could turn out okay. We'll see.
Absolutely. Very, very quickly leaping back into Act 1 to fill up a little bit of time. If we want to keep Charlie in the story a bit longer, have him wanting to be the one to try and go and convince Willie of his new responsibilities. Or do we think that would undermine...
I'm worried that it would undermine Thurman at this point.
Okay, so we were just going to take him out of the story?
I am struggling here. I don't know what we could do with him that's not going to be extremely contrived. I mean, that's the problem. There are other people that would be doing that, if you know what I mean.
Well, I mean, as a mashup, we don't have to keep everything. We've included him in at the beginning.
Yeah.
I think we leave it there.
Well, that's the thing, for the audience to see the life that Charlie had, especially with Santa as his father.
There's no reason, depending on how this goes, where we can't throw in a moment of him in Act 3.
Yeah.
If we manage to bring Willie round to taking the job, and he turns up as Santa at Charlie's house.
Oh, yes. In the same way that the little girl Sarah.
Exactly.
Right, yes, I understand. No, that's brilliant. And also allows us to use an element from the original film.
Yeah.
In a good way. Yeah, okay, let's go with that. Yeah. Let's go with that. That works. That
cool.
works. Have one.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't find a way to use it.
Fantastic. So that means we don't have to worry about him.
No, we can let him go for now. I mean, we can do a cutaway, maybe. Maybe he's not dealing so well with his daddy not being Santa anymore.
Exactly, yeah.
And that gives us a chance to have Judge Reinhold in there, giving him a little...
And again, which again is another element, sorry, I keep thinking about it, it's because I think I watched it again recently. It makes me think again a bit of Liar Liar, where Cary Elwes is trying to emulate his dad.
Oh, right, yeah.
And just not doing it as well.
Not doing it nearly as well, yeah.
Okay, so... Pinball machine, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so we're moving in. There's a couple of scenes again with Birdie Mac.
Hang on. Let's slow down a little bit here.
I've forgotten the barmaid's name.
Sue.
Sue,
yes. Marcus's girlfriend is Lois, and the girl from the bar is Sue. There were only 6 named characters when I checked on IMDb. Everybody else is Guy. Even Thurman is listed as the kid.
The kid, yeah.
Which I thought is... Since it's specifically mentioned in the script, it's a bit... I know everybody else calls him the kid, but we know his name,
So I've got bath and then bed. There's the bit with the advent calendar.
The advent calendar, yeah. Then there's...
So we could put a little thing in there. He wakes up the next morning, maybe his beard's got a little bit thicker. He's put on a couple of extra pounds. But I was going to say, he puts in a thing when Thurman opens the advent calendar. There's an extra big chocolate in there or something. It's just... part of the gift of being Santa.
Okay.
The gift of abundance.
I've just had a thought that I love.
Okay.
I hope it's not too much. You'll have to tell me. But once the list arrives, every time Willie does something bad, he gets another page with his name on it, on the naughty list.
Oh, yes.
So he's just got a room that's full of his naughty lists.
Yeah.
I'm sort of imagining almost like you've seen all the Harry Potter films.
Mm-hmm.
In the first film, like the letters for him keep arriving.
Yes.
In different places. Something like that. Just like wherever he goes, there's a ka-ching.
John Spartan, you are fined 1 credit for a violation of the verbal morality statute.
Yes. Yes.
He opens the advent calendar.
This has to have something to... Maybe? Does it have something to do with the bad clause? Don't know. Maybe we can save that for later.
So, what about then if the number of bad notes that he gets exceeds the list, something happens. It's either that's the only time he can step away from the job, or his brother turns up. Krampus stands up if...
Okay. Yeah, I think if we're going to have the bad clause in there, it needs to be something properly bad.
Yeah.
So yes, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, have it.
Yeah, they're over there.
Oh, no, they're here. I'm hoarding them, sorry.
So that means I think, would that be our Because movie? Because we're adding a new element to the film.
Ooh.
We are adding Krampus to the film.
Well, technically you put the bad clause in before we started the movie.
I'll go with that. I'll buy that.
I'd buy that for $1.
And Krampus is just the consequence of the bad clause. So I don't think we've Because movie yet.
Nice.
But by the skin of our teeth.
Yeah.
Do you agree, folks? You'll have to let us know. I think we get away with that one because we did put the bad clause in place before we started the movie.
Yeah. Which also works as well because, even when he starts to believe in it, that's going to spur him on to do even worse things.
Right, okay. So we've got that.
That actually works. I think that does work really well because then you've got Thurman who even more so now believes this is Santa, and so he's the good angel to Willie's his own bad angel.
And you're good, Ash. You're a goody little two-shoes.
Yeah, well...
So he's trying to...
Well, Marcus...
Oh, God, yeah, Marcus.
Because Marcus is always, you're a loser, you're no good.
Yes, of course.
You're drunk.
Yeah, he is the bad angel, yeah, definitely. Okay.
Oh, wow. That really is the case.
It is, literally, yeah.
In Bad Santa. That's a genius point. Yeah, that really is literally the case, isn't it?
And even to the point that he has them fight each other.
Oh, God, yeah! Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so we had the bit with the advent calendar at night. He gets up the next morning, and then they have that disastrous lunch with Marcus when Marcus is literally, you are such a loser.
Yes, and then I'm on my break. Maybe with this bit as well, is, he's eating the salad, isn't he?
Yeah, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah,
blah, blah.
he's eating the salad, but we kind of very subtly through that scene see that he's putting on weight as he's eating salad.
He's just great. Oh, yes. Yeah.
And you can have...
And his beard needs to start growing in
exactly,
as well.
yeah. So you can have Lois and Marcus kind of like looking at each other, looking at him. It's like, what? You're taking this a bit far,
And then we got the scene with Jin and the shoplifter.
Yes, and I've got casing the joint as well.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Because Lois is going around, isn't she, taking photos of stuff that she wants.
Of course, yeah.
Drafts.
The Luminaris bit.
So I put it down as Herb Gunner, which is the neighbour comes around about the thing. And then
I think he called it the Luminaris Project or something like that. Yeah.
And then I've got Hot Tub Shag.
I've got Hot Tub / Deep Talk, because it's the shag, and then afterwards she's sort of like, oh,
yes,
deep stuff.
Maybe mid shag they look up and there's a reindeer drinking from the hot tub.
Oh, absolutely, and it has to be Comet.
Of course, yeah.
Giving him a look.
Yeah.
What?
And then ding as another one comes through the window.
Yeah.
And then eating the advent calendar.
Yes, yeah. And then, like I say, yeah, he passes out on the floor, doesn't he?
And then Thurman cuts his hand, doesn't he?
Yeah, I've just, ow.
Yes.
Because that is Thurman's only line in the entire scene. Just over and over again. Apart from I cut myself on accident, everything else is just, ow, ow.
Do we allow then that Willie has the magic touch to cure him, or is that stretching things a bit?
Oh, I'm not sure that's been established that Santa can do that. I think that would be a because movie.
Yeah, let's not
I think
do
we'd be
that.
pushing our luck there.
Going to work. Going to work, and then it's Marcus in the air vents, isn't it?
Going into the ducts, and then Jin again having a pedicure. We got to break this up. We're too. I don't know. Do we break this up?
I think we do. I think we should do something with the air vents. The whole Santa thing of being able to go through small spaces.
Do we, since we're saving Krampus for Act 3, clearly, do we use the Elf's squad?
What do you need us to do, Santa? I need you to go up through this air vents.
Well, more like, we know what you're doing. We're here ahead of you.
Okay.
You do know you're on the naughty list. Because it would be just a moment with them and Marcus. Little people with little people? Or is that terribly cheeky?
I have nothing against you people.
It is a little bit cheeky, but I think it's within the milieu of the comedy of the film.
Let's face it, we're talking about Bad Santa here.
We are.
They are not pulling any punches.
Exactly. Oh, no, absolutely. Yeah. No, I love it. And he's like, what? Because he doesn't know what the hell they're talking about.
Of course not. He doesn't. We haven't given Marcus any clues at all. And he's not the sort who would believe in that kind of bullshit anyway.
Exactly.
You know?
I mean, if we really want to, they can... No, that might be too much. I was saying if we want, again, because we keep mentioning Krampus, there's some kind of way to signify that he's just waiting in the wings.
Yeah, so you wouldn't want to meet Santa's brother. Or something, like a parting shot.
Yeah, and then there's whenever they mention it, there's like a wisp of cold air.
Or the rattling of chains.
Yeah, I'm leading straight into Michael Dougherty.
Yeah.
Of course, because it's the best Krampus.
It is the best Krampus, but that is actually, if you... See, there's a couple of Eastern European cities that they have a festival.
The festival, yes.
With the Krampuses. People dress up as Krampus and go chase the kids around and prank them all night. So, yeah, absolutely. Lean into it, yeah.
So that would work, because again, we get the cold air, and Marcus just thinks, they've put the air conditioning on, but then he hears the rattle of chains.
Yes. Oh, nice. Yes. Double layer it.
Yeah, fantastic.
Well, yes, we might as well have fun that there is something genuinely supernatural happening in a film about very, very cynical people.
So that might be a point then to reveal that, because obviously...
Do we want to be spending as much time on Jin as we are? At the moment, we've been giving Jin all of the scenes that he's got in Bad Santa. Is he that... Well, no, actually. I think he is that important now I think about it, because of what happens to him in the third act.
Exactly.
Has to be a tipping point.
It has to be. And maybe I was thinking that in the same way that Santa... Mm-hmm. I think it's probably the same thought you've had, by the look of it. In the same way that Santa is somebody that's in the film, Krampus needs an avatar.
Yes, somebody will have to have the job.
Exactly.
That'll be a conversation for the third act.
But I also want to think as well, with that scene in the air vents with the elves, again, as I said, Marcus doesn't believe most of this stuff, at which point they just kind of remind them, yeah, he's not the only one on the naughty list, Marcus.
Yes.
So again, it's, who's going to tip the balance first?
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, that's lovely. Yeah, that works. But yes, ignore my question about Jin. I think leading on from that, we have the scene with him having his pedicure.
And then visiting Roger Merman in jail is what I've got. This is the next scene after that.
What was
Bernie Mac goes to the jail to visit Thurman's dad.
Wow, yeah, I totally blanked on that scene.
Because then the next one is making dinner.
And the bit with the fixed advent calendar.
Yes.
With the candy corn in it and stuff. Yeah.
Again, with his Santa things. Are we still going to go into that? It's a better advent calendar, or?
I see that was, on one hand, it's an attempt to make amends, which might be a tick for the nice list.
Yes.
But he is lying about it.
True.
So I think it's still a naughty list. So maybe he gets another ding, another letter, another page or whatever, and he's like, oh, come on, I was trying!
As he's kind of, yes, because probably by this point, he can't deny it. He's starting to put on all the weight. The beard's there, he can't get rid of it.
Yeah.
The hair's starting to puff out or whatever. Okay, fantastic. That sounds like a perfect point to do a shout out.
Okay then, you go ahead.
I certainly will. Yes, I'm going to do a quick Christmas shout out. Actually going to do two kind of shout outs. One as a general one to all of our friends and viewers and supporters out there in movie land. Not movie land.
Maryland?
Moo land?
Don't talk to me. I'm just in daft mode.
Fair enough. Yes, so in the real world, thank you to everybody again for supporting what we do this year. It's been fantastic. Hopefully more to come next year. But also a more specific shout out for our old friends from Last Dog Films. This is a local film company here in Norwich, producing stuff predominantly on YouTube at the moment, short films and all that kind of thing. And they've been huge help and supporters of us with providing bits of equipment that we didn't have.
Indeed.
That have made our job so much easier. To Michael, to Alex, and to Josh. Thank you again for all your help and support. And do go and check out their channel, as they have just released their Christmas offering, Bloody Merry Christmas.
That's right, yeah.
I must admit, I'm sorry, I haven't had time to watch it at the time of recording, but by the time this goes out, I most definitely will. Check the comments, just to keep me honest.
I have watched it. Go and see it, folks. It's a giggle.
Again, guys, thank you very much. And congratulations on all the stuff that's been going on with you guys recently, so individually. And that's it.
There you go.
Then I've got Bernie Mac's stool softener.
Right, yes. They're discussing how to deal with him. Which, if I'm remembering rightly, that is the last time that John Ritter is in the film.
It is, yeah.
He weirdly disappears entirely from the third act.
I'm assuming that must have been when he died.
No, he didn't. I checked it out with my mum last night because we were curious. And he died in rehearsals for a production of, it's another film, something with my children. It's one of those films with several words, ... with my daughter or something like that, But he was in rehearsals for the pre-production, and he had an aortic tear basically, and died in hospital. But yes, no, he did finish the film, but he died very shortly after making the film, and that's, if you notice in the credits, is why the film was dedicated to him.
Yes, yeah, that's what my brother had. Aortic tear.
Oh dear. Oh, it's not good. Not good. Anyway, yes, so moving on from stool softener, that gives us...
Wedgie.
Is that your underwear?
Part of it.
Yes, that's also my title for this scene.
Yes. I suppose that has to go the same way. As an overriding thing for this scene, if we're going to have, as we've introduced Comet, do we want to have him keep popping up? Thurman's got a bit of a friendship with Comet.
Maybe he keeps lurking around the Santa set or something like that.
Yeah, and that's why it makes him really
People think you've got really a realistic animatronics there.
Yeah, that's...
Really realistic.
Yeah. Which we could have Willie going, yeah, get that, Marcus.
I was going to go, we're going to use Bernard again, but actually maybe Comet works. The bit with when Thurman comes up to him, of course he's doing his Santa thing.
Yeah.
And he's doing that whole scene in front of Comet. So maybe there's some sort of obviously non-verbal exchange between Willie and Comet about what the appropriate thing to do. Like after he sends the kid away, there'll be a What?
Yeah, that kind of that disapproving look from Comet. Yeah,
but do those like they did in the Santa Claus with the little grunts and snorts to create a Meisner-esque dialogue.
Yeah,
getting all technical here.
I thought the other one could be you kind of get that look, and then Comet just turns around and just shits in his lap.
Oh. Take that star. Take that star. We got to lean into this stuff, literally. Yeah.
Which is also nice as well. Again, thematically, he's having an effect on them. He's making them worse.
Oh, God. I just realised. Yeah, that's brilliant. Well, no, because in the original film, he attacked a donkey.
Oh, God, he does, doesn't he? Yeah.
Now, what if he attacks a reindeer?
Yeah.
Only it's not Comet.
It's not. It's another one.
It just gives that scene a bit more layer.
Yeah. Yes. Then we get what...
I've marked the scene as Harlf.
Oh.
It's when Bernie Mac confronts them.
Harlf.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Which is its own long sequence.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think, again, that's more... that's a few more cards through for them.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, yeah. And then I labelled the scene Dead Donkey.
Oh, yes, beating donkeys, yeah. I know we had the scene with the elves earlier.
Mm.
Do we want a redemption arc from Marcus? Because he could be getting visitations from Bernard as the head elf.
Mm.
In the same way that Marcus is technically Willie's elf. I don't know if that's loading things up too much.
I mean, we could put it in there. Ultimately, Mark...
Oh, no, I know what it is. Bernard keeps turning up to talk to Willie. Are you trying to muscle me out now, are you?
Oh, right, like a rivalry with Bernard.
Yeah, that's, I think, what...
That could work. That could really work. Yeah, that would add something to it. And again, because of who Marcus is, he thinks it's another shyster.
Yeah.
The list is it. Oh, you planning another job?
Yeah.
You muscling me out? All right, okay, I see how this is.
Yeah, you're nothing without me, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, go to sleep. And some fairy dust.
Yeah, we could have some fun with that, and we could pepper a second act with that. But I do think ultimately we want Marcus to go the way he goes. I think
we do.
I think it's a little bit unfair to what this movie sets out to do. There's a certain quality that we have to remain true to if we're actually gonna be...
Of course. No, I think so. And again, and he makes a brilliant villain. So, yeah. So I like your scene where he turns around and starts beating up one of the reindeer.
Yes, yeah, that's it. Yeah, exactly.
And we'll probably end up with him getting kicked through the set or something.
Oh, right, we want to say it's a real reindeer.
Oh, I think so.
Yeah?
I think so.
All right, I was imagining him mistaking one of the papier-mâché reindeer or plastic reindeer for Comet.
Oh, I see.
So you'd still get that same scene, like him just drunkenly destroying the set. But we could.
I mean, we could technically do both. He beats up one of the papier-mâché ones and sees another one, and you as well, and it's actually Comet or one of the others.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's layer it in there.
Yeah, because then I've got something, and then he tries to kill himself.
Yes, I have attempt/black eye.
Yes.
Because that's what stops it. That was where I marked the end of the act.
I called it, and slightly later, I called it just after beating up the kids. There's a bit where he says, "I'm starting to feel good about myself." That's the bit where I called the end of the act.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So we're still having him beating up the kids.
Oh, absolutely. Because he is trying in his own way. He is trying to be better, but he needs to go further. And
yes,
I think at this point we can afford to have him still fail.
And I think it still works as well, because even more so because by this stage, pretty much close to looking like Santa.
Yes. Well, I even imagine like when he's beating up the kids, he belly what do you call that? Belly thrusts them, belly charges them. Belly charges them up against a tree or something like that.
Yeah, fantastic. I love it. That's the end of
our
our
act.
act.
That's our act. Yeah,
fantastic. I suppose should have said as well. So as this has now reverted to being a mashup, that means we won't be putting anything out the Friday immediately after Christmas on the 27th.
Oh, of course, yes. Yeah, good point.
But we have something cooking for New Year's Day. Training mode. Oh, yeah, that's...
I put defence, but yes.
Yes.
Yeah. My mum did not approve of this film, for obvious reasons. But she said the last 20 to 30 minutes were very fun, and it was that scene when she was like, that had her properly laughing. I mean, just because they dare to, everybody gets a nut punch. Everybody. We have the scene I have labelled Grandma Surprise.
Oh yeah, Grandma not dead.
Flash is not dead!
Wooden pickle. I mean, I think these scenes are going to run on rails.
Yeah, on the rug. So do we want, at this stage, to do anything? Are we happy with Grandma just being Grandma? Does at some point you just go, look, Santa? Or something like that? Or are we happy not? Is that too much pathos?
Well, maybe, but if we do, I think we'd save it to the very end.
Okay. So by this point, obviously, Willie now looks like Santa. Just
Oh,
like
absolutely. He
that,
totally
because
does. There's nothing he can do about it, you know.
The house is full of black cards, and obviously the list and all these black cards as well.
Yeah.
So maybe that's it. Instead of on the rug, you have Sue saying, "Let's fuck on the bad cards." And as they're doing it, another one comes through.
Yeah.
What's that sticking out your ass? Just between his cheeks.
And then we have Accident.
Oh yes, nobbling Bernie Mac. Yeah.
I think this is where now we go off the rails, and we're making something different.
Yes, absolutely.
How do we want to do this?
I think the scene with Bernie Mac plays out.
Mm-hmm.
They head back, and that's when we get this cold wind swirling around his body.
Right, okay.
Yeah, and the sound of chains.
Right, okay.
If we want to go into leaning into the whole thing from the Santa Claus, we have Bernard just appears with, like, I don't know, like a, what would it be? It's going to have to be something appropriate. I don't know whether it's like an urn or something. I mean, if you want to, I know it's too, we can't lean into Krampus because we're making this before Krampus, the film. So it can't be like one of the little bells.
No, but I was wondering about the snow globe.
Yes.
Wow, right,
yes.
There we go. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because there is a snow globe in Santa Claus, so...
Yes. So it's the bad snow globe with the big, like, haunted house on the hill.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. And just the constant storm in it.
Yeah.
So was it, he cracks it like an egg, does he? Or he just puts it in his hand?
I don't know, cracking it like an egg, that sounds... I kind of like the visual of that.
And then
the storm comes out and...
Yeah, and then he fucking he backs off and disappears.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want to be anywhere near there, because you know what's about to happen.
Yeah. So, we can have Bernard give him a little, oh, you've done it now, you've done it now.
Now you've done it. Now you've done it!
So, what, Marcus is going to run away and...
And then we're into Christmas Eve.
Yeah, then we're into Christmas Eve.
So the sleigh turns up.
This is a turn here, potentially. Because this is all, in the original... This is when he went to go on the job with Marcus. But in this film, as you rightly point out, it's nightfall.
Mm-hmm. I mean, from Willie's point of view, fantastic.
The sleigh is turning up.
The sleigh's turning up. Okay, well, that's the perfect getaway vehicle.
Okay, right, okay.
Yeah, as far as he's concerned, they're still going through with the job.
Okay, yeah. Okay, all right. So are we going to follow this through?
I think so. I mean, obviously, we get the stockings. We get the bits. We still get the bits with the street lights. So that's it. He's out there, you know, when he's lighting the lights along the street.
Yeah.
We can have whatever his name was from Act 1. Herb Gunner turns up again.
You're right.
Oh, wow, you've really gone out. You've really pushed out the boat, haven't you? Love the reindeer on the roof.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Go on.
Ah, cheers.
That's a nice callback.
Willie kind of looks up and he just gets a wink from Comet or whatever.
Yeah.
But then we get store closing, and then we get the job.
The job, yes. We're in danger of following the same plot. We've got a Krampus. How do we want to use our Krampus? I mean, do we want to go light with Krampus?
I think so. I think what we want to do here is, I think the job still goes ahead. I think it's when Marcus pulls the gun. Mm-hmm. I think that's where we're going to deviate the most. I mean, obviously, they're wondering where he is. Willie arrives on the roof. Yeah. In the thing. Are we still having... Is Thurman tagging along with him here?
He'd want to, but...
What about this then?
Well, he'd want to, but Willie wouldn't want to because he would start to be... He'd be feeling bad by this point.
Yes.
He'd be feeling bad about dragging the kid into his crap. Have him tell him, fuck off, kid, but the kid sneaks into the sleigh anyway.
It was either that
hides in the bag.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Was something happens, Willie gets distracted maybe because he's now Santa. He keeps suddenly reflexively throwing up all of the alcohol that he's been drinking.
Oh, right, yeah.
So he has like a tactical chunder, and while he's looking the other way...
Oh, that's a nice touch, yeah.
Thurman kind of looks and falls in the bag because it's so much bigger on the inside.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. So he's there, but... Yeah. Fantastic.
And of course, Santa can always carry the sack no matter what's in it.
Exactly. So he lands on the roof of the store
Okay,
for the job, and then uses his Santa powers to get into the store.
Yes.
Which we then get the heist, and then
Marcus pulls the gun.
Mm-hmm.
It all gets a bit dark. Like it hasn't been dark already. But it all gets a bit dark. I don't know. It may be a cheap shot, but I'm kind of feeling a ghost here.
Of course.
Like you say, the wind.
So one thing we do need to, which we didn't discuss earlier, but it's fine because I'm assuming then that he doesn't give Thurman the letter when he's committing suicide in Act 2. Because that's why the cops are nowhere to be.
Wait, no, he did, because he gave Thurman the letter when he made the attempt on his life.
Yes, but are we saying that this is not going to happen now? Or are we keeping the cops, or are we not? Are we going to essentially replace the cops with Krampus?
My arm just hurt.
You were doing some expressive dance, that's what it was.
Yeah, interpretive dance gets you every time. I feel like we should have the cops. I feel like it's an appropriate thing and it shows his journey.
Yes, of course it does.
But I think he's probably going to get away.
Mm-hmm.
I think is what's going to happen. Or at least get away for tonight.
Yeah.
So he can do what he has to do.
I mean, that's something which we could almost poach from the Santa Claus. Lots of kids have seen this sleigh flying around and they landed on top of that store. So even if they do try and shoot him, no, you can't kill Santa.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So we get, from that as well, we can sprinkle in some elves amongst the crowd, geeing on the crowd to protect Santa.
Absolutely, yeah, that'd be a nice touch.
But, as you were saying, sorry, let's get back to Marcus. He pulls the gun, him and Lois.
Yeah, so I'm thinking chill wind, moans and growls, and then the chains come out of the darkness and clamp onto him. Not like Hellraiser, but like, manacle chains, but then do the ghost and pull him away into the darkness.
Yes, I love it. I think what we need is, as this third act, a little bit of tension here, because obviously they're getting... Oh, so we can definitely have that.
Thank you.
I think that's brilliant. It should be... This is the crux moment where they're almost level pegging on their evil deeds. And it's what tips the scales to who Krampus is going to take. So we should try and figure in a final moment where either by accident or by design... I know what it is. It's...
I'm going to see if you're going to say the same thing as me.
Pink or purple.
Oh, yeah, okay. I was going with it would be something to do with the kid that would save him.
Yes, it would have to be the kid. My first thought was it should be, self-sacrifice, he saves his life, but I think it should be subtler than that. And I think picking the right colour elephant, because it shows he paid attention.
I think you're right. It's subtle as fuck, but I think that's where we have to go with this. Because we can't be too saccharine.
No.
Because it would betray the movie too much.
And it's just, as you say, the chains start coming out, it's reaching for both of them, but then he notices which colour elephant he's holding. And then they all go for Marcus.
Right, yeah.
Yeah?
Do
you want to...
No, I'm just going to say it's one of those things, it's a little bit of a cliche, but I think we kind of need to do it as, actually have Thurman be the one to say, you remembered. So it's the kid's statement that seems, so that we see the kid's statement saving him. He
comes steaming out of the bag.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no. Willie says throw us the bag because he's kind of figured out that it's magic.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's full of stuff. So Willie throws the bag and obviously
of course, because Lois loves all the stuff, doesn't she? Yeah.
So, he's got Santa's bag. It's always full of stuff.
Oh, that's nice. We can foreshadow that somehow.
So he throws the bag down. Mm-hmm. Thurman comes rolling out of the bag.
Yeah.
As this starts, and then, as you say, he sees, you got the right one. And that's when all the chains break.
Yeah, I think that's our moment.
Yeah, and that's when the cops burst in.
Because
we can even have as Krampus takes Marcus, drops the gun, or Lois has got her own gun and she pulls that out. Again, it'd probably she's got a little handbag and she pulls out a Colt Python or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let it be comically huge. Yeah.
So you ain't gonna take me alive, copper. And so we still get that shootout.
Yeah.
And that will lead us into they try to arrest
Santa.
Yes, and then all the kids save him so he can go off. So we can still get our moment with him travelling around the world.
Yes.
With Thurman? I think
so. I think he'd be hard pressed to get rid of the kid at this point.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then we have the bit that we talked about earlier on when he brings Thurman home. That's the bit when we have
the bit with Charlie.
No, I forgot about Charlie.
Yeah.
I forgot, but yes, we have the bit with Charlie, but we also have the bit when eventually at the end of the night he brings Thurman home, and we have the bit with Grandma.
You're gonna wake up Grandma!
That you said about earlier on.
Yeah.
Just a very little moment at the very end.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have him arrested the next day for what he did? Santa's in jail. There's something kind of funny about it.
There is something kind of funny about it. Are we going to say like...
Because we know he's going to get out of jail next year when Bernard
exactly.
comes looking for him, you know?
Has he redeemed himself enough that he would make that a conscious decision? He could run off to the North Pole for the next 12 months and get away with it, but he chooses to stay and get arrested.
Yes, to make it his choice.
Yeah, do we
make it his choice?
Do we think that's too far for him? Or would that be...
That's how, like, the whole Dear Kid bit at the end of Bad Santa is basically him saying that. You know, because of the letter, because you spoke up for me, because I did it myself, the authorities are being lenient on me.
So it does work. It does work. Okay. So I think he's offered the opportunity.
Because I think because then we get both endings.
We do.
I think we get both endings. I think that works. Because he's still done bad things. There's a retribution to that, but you know that he's turned a leaf.
Yes.
And in a very big way. Yeah, so maybe we have the cop say, I'll probably be getting out soon. I hope it's before Bernard turns up again. Or something like that.
I was going to say, he just says, Bernard...
I could do with a week in Miami.
I was going to say, he just says, Bernard keeps turning up with eggnog for me while he's in prison. Because he can get wherever he wants.
Something like that. Just a nice little touch in the end. But, of course, we have to have the nut shot at the end.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. The nutcracker shot.
The nutcracker shot. Yes, it is, yeah.
And that's
our movie. That is our movie.
Okay, yeah, so we're just going to take a couple of seconds, as we always do, gather our thoughts, see what we think about this, and we'll be right back with our verdict. So, post-production, I'm on 4.
I'm on 5.
Okay, so it's me first. Definitely mashing them up was definitely the way to go. As I said, we could have tried to do the other one, but I don't know how long it would have lasted. A little shaky at the start, but then again, these tend to be now. It takes a little moment to kind of get back up to speed, if you like. Mm-hmm. But again, for a first draft, I think there's enough there to build on, polish certain bits. I'm sure there are other bits where we can find a little bit of extra crudity, shall we say?
Oh, absolutely.
To throw in there. I mean, even little things like with in the changing room,
All right, yeah, of course,
things like that, fuck me like a reindeer or something. I don't know, little Christmas things that we can throw in just for an extra gag, just to wear one. And I like throwing campus.
Okay.
Throwing Krampus in there as well.
I think that was possibly what saved it.
Yeah, it just has a nice little layer of threat, and keeping it understated works as well. So it's a yes from me. I like this one.
Yeah, okay. Myself, I was wobbly about it until about the middle of the second act. But I think we pulled it back here. There is a lot of the original film in here, and it still causes me a little bit of concern. But as you say, this is a first draft. I think we succeeded. We did something new. Mm-hmm. While still staying true to the essence of both of the movies, I feel.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think ultimately it is a movie.
Because, I think one of the things I suppose we lose from this is how much of a psychological change there is with Scott as he becomes Santa. I think if we'd have tried to do that with Willie, it just wouldn't have worked.
We wouldn't have bought it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have believed it.
But I think that was, even though I didn't say anything, I think subconsciously that was one of the things that I wanted to include with the bad clause.
Oh, I see.
He doesn't get that. It's, can he be a good enough person, being the person that he is, to warrant having the, taking on the role?
Right, I see what you mean. Yeah, you're right. It is one of the things you said at the beginning, and it slipped away on us, didn't it?
A lot to think about to try and put this together. So.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But yeah, no, ultimately, it is a movie. I think it has my vote.
Mine too. So, there we go. So, we are 2 for 2 over here. And now, as always, it's over to you guys at home to see what you think. So, watch this back. Have a good old mull. See what I did there? That's terrible. And
it's not terrible, it's just slightly mid.
Fair enough. And then at our New Year's Day special, we will announce whether or not we have a Christmas winner this year or not. As that is going to be our next one, as always, everybody, please do look after yourselves, look after one another, have a fantastic Christmas, and we will see you on New Year's Day.
As always, guys, TTFN.
Ba 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 ba.